This is Dr. Andrew. He's about to go on holiday with his loved ones, but unfortunately, it'll turn out to be his last because he's about to have a heat stroke. You see, Dr. Andrew is a well-respected physician and health guru who taught people how to live better, longer, and healthier. As fate would have it, one hot summer's day, he goes out for a walk and ends up not making it. And he was so close to potential help, like literally a couple of 100 feet from safety. That's less than a football field away. So Dr. Andrew was 65, smart as hell, loved by millions, had a wife, 2 kids, and had just landed on the holiday island for what was supposed to be a relaxing vacation. He and his wife had just arrived the day before, bright-eyed and buzzing with excitement. You know that fresh off the boat vacation energy? That was then. They were staying in a beautiful, quiet part of the island. Blue seas, white walls, boats bobbing gently in the harbor. It was everything a stressed-out doctor could ask for. They spent the afternoon at a beachside restaurant, clinking glasses, laughing with friends, watching the sea sparkle. Classic Mediterranean bliss. Sun, food, friends. The dream vacation. This is until. After lunch, the kind that ends up in loosened belts and desserts that nobody needed but everyone ordered, Dr. Andrew stands up, stretches, and says to the group, "If you'll excuse me, I just need to go for a walk. I may have had too much." He laughed, and this is where the story gets very sad. No one questioned it. He was fit, energetic, pragmatic, and very sensible. As Dr. Andrew set off for what he thought would be a quick, breezy walk, he slung his light backpack over his shoulder, the kind you take when you're not expecting much more than a casual stroll. Inside was a small bottle of water and not much else, just the water and the easy confidence of a man who's hiked before, who assumes the trail will be marked, the path clear, the journey short. He wasn't that familiar with the island. It was only day 2 of their holiday. But he had heard about a trail, a scenic coastal footpath. Something in a guidebook said it looped around to the next bay. It was supposed to be beautiful, peaceful, popular with tourists. But he ends up taking the wrong trail. In the post-lunch lull, warm, content, a little drowsy from wine and the sun, he took a wrong turn. Just a subtle, almost invisible split in the dusty trail. He didn't notice. He kept walking until the coastal views disappeared behind shrubs and rocks, until the sea breeze faded, until the trail narrowed, twisted, and pulled him inland, straight into what the locals quietly referred to as the wild part of the island. Here, the terrain changes. Gone are the touristy beaches and shady olive trees. Now it's harsh scrubland. Sharp rocks, thorny plants brushing against his calves. The trail was definitely more remote and practically deserted during the heat of the day. The kind of place where GPS signals die and tourists aren't meant to go without a guide. He keeps going, expecting a clearing, a sign, something to tell him he's still on track. Then instinctively, he reaches into his pocket to check the time, but his hand hits nothing. His mind quickly retraces steps, the table, the restaurant, his phone lying right there next to his half-empty glass. He had left it behind, and now it's hot. The sun's relentless, no shade, no rest stops, no fresh water, just rocks, dust, and heat rising off the path. And he's walking in it, alone, with no phone, and no one knows which way he went. He pauses, wipes sweat from his forehead, scans the horizon, nothing but the trail, and rock, and the sun. And a creeping realization that this short walk has now become something else entirely, a survival situation. He keeps on walking. Each step now feels heavier. His legs, once reliable, start to feel weird, sluggish, like they're not listening to his brain properly. His shirt is soaked through, clinging to his back like a second skin. And even the occasional breeze feels like a hairdryer set to the max. He squints up at the sky. There's no shade, not a tree, not a rock big enough to hide under. The sun isn't just hot, it's merciless. It pounds down on him like a physical weight. That's when the first real warning signs kick in. A headache. The kind of headache that doesn't just sit quietly, it pulses. Then the nausea and dizziness took over. The landscape around him begins to tilt, like the world is on a gentle spin cycle. He stumbles, catches himself on a rock. His heart rate feels like it's thumping in his ears, too fast. Still, he keeps going, because now, finally, he can see something. Down below is the beach, a tiny speck of umbrellas, the faint sound of laughter, the shimmer of water. Safety. He's made it to the ridge. It's the last stretch, just 100 meters or so down the rocky slope, and he's there. Beach bar, shade, help. But his body isn't listening anymore. Confusion has set in. He tries to figure out the best way down, but the path doesn't make sense. Did it come from the left, or was it around the fence? Why is the slope moving? His vision starts to blur. He tries to take a step down, but his foot misses the rock and slips. He catches himself, barely, breathing now very shallow. His calves seize up, both of them, like cords pulled too tight. Pain shoots up the back of his legs, and his skin, it's red now, flushed, dry, no sweat left. He's suffering from heat stroke. His core body temperature was now pushing past 40 degrees. He tries to shout, maybe someone will hear him, but his voice comes out hoarse, broken. He takes a final step, wobbles, then his body gives out and he collapses, just 100 meters or so from the bar. Unfortunately, nobody sees him. He's just out of view, just enough to go unnoticed, and sadly, he ends up not making it. The doctors concluded that Dr. Andrew's passing was most likely attributable to heat stroke. Now let's talk about heat stroke. But first, how does heat affect your body? As summer approaches and temperatures soar across many cities and countries, you've likely seen heat wave warnings. But what does extreme heat actually do to your body? Your body is designed to function within a narrow temperature range, with a normal internal temperature around 37 degrees Celsius or 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Stray too far from that range and your body systems start to break down. Normally, your body cools itself by sweating. Sweat evaporates from the skin, removing heat and helping regulate internal temperature. But several factors can interfere with this cooling mechanism. Number one, high humidity. Sweat can't evaporate effectively, so the heat remains trapped in the body. Number two, dehydration. Less fluid in the body means less sweat, less cooling. And number three, overexertion in the sun. Your muscles generate even more internal heat during physical activity. And as the body temperature rises, number one, vasodilation kicks in. Your blood vessels widen to bring more blood to the skin for cooling. Number two, this directs blood flow away from the vital organs, including the brain. This can lead to low blood pressure, dizziness, confusion, and eventually collapse. And if the heat continues and no action is taken to cool down, other organs start to shut down. Before full-on heat stroke sets in, the following may occur: intense thirst, dry mouth, fatigue and lightheadedness, and dark yellow urine. These are all red flags that your body is overheating and needs urgent help. Because heat stroke, it's a medical emergency. Heat stroke occurs when the body's core temperature rises above 40 degrees Celsius or 104 degrees Fahrenheit. It's a seriously, potentially life-threatening condition that requires immediate medical attention. And while it can affect anyone, even healthy, fit individuals, certain groups are especially vulnerable, including older adults, infants and young children, pregnant individuals, and people with chronic health conditions. Some of the key signs and symptoms include a core body temperature above 40 degrees Celsius, headache, nausea or vomiting, confusion, dizziness, or even seizures, rapid breathing, hot, red and dry skin, muscle cramps, and fainting or loss of consciousness. If you or someone near you shows sign of heat exhaustion or heat stroke, do not wait. Get emergency medical help immediately. And the other thing is, take the heat seriously.